Right, so again, I'd just like to start with some statistics. Figures actually show that only 14% of UK adults have some form of lasting power of attorney in place. Prior to October 2007, this document was actually called an enduring power of attorney. From this date forward, we have lasting powers of attorney, and there's two types: the property and finance and the health and welfare, both equally as important as each other. So how can lasting powers of attorney help you and your family? Well, lasting powers of attorney enable a friend or family member you trust to make decisions on your behalf if you're no longer able to do so for yourself. This can be for several reasons, including dementia, Alzheimer's. You could have a stroke, a serious brain injury, or even an accident, or even just be in hospital for a long time. So let's move to a little bit about the powers of attorney. The property and finance lasting power of attorney. This allows you, the donor, to instruct your attorneys to carry out anything financial, such as paying bills, speaking to utility providers, dealing with bank accounts, investments, and even buying and selling property. The health and welfare lasting power of attorney. This allows your attorneys to be able to make decisions on what medical treatment you receive, attend doctor's appointments with you, and decide what care you can receive. You can have a minimum of one attorney, maximum of 4. If there are more than one attorney, I always recommend that you allow them to act jointly and severally for flexibility. Without these in place, family members and friends cannot act on your behalf, regardless of who they are, including this could be a spouse or partner. Often people think that because they're married, they live together, they're a close family member, that they can get involved. But this is incorrect. They have no right. Just to point out, if you go into care, there's 3 questions that you get asked when you're being assessed. 1, who owns the property? 2, how much money have you got? How much savings have you got in the bank? And 3, are there lasting powers of attorney in place? If no lasting powers of attorney are in place, social services will be granted the authority by the Office of Public Guardian to take control of your finances and care decisions, disregarding your family. It's currently taking between 20 to 24 weeks to get the lasting powers of attorney registered with the Office of Public Guardian. It costs £82 per document to register, and until they are registered, they can't be used. So if you have no lasting powers of attorney in place and you no longer have capacity, a deputy courtship order will have to be applied for. This can take up to 9 months and is a very complex procedure, as well as being costly, in the region of £3,000 to put in place. Also, until this is in place, nothing can be accessed. Again, I would always recommend that you do use a professional for obvious reasons. But again, if you do with a professional, at least we can make sure that all the wording's correct, everything's in detail as to what you require. But again, equally, you can have a look on the government website, look at the paperwork. But, you know, it's there for your choice to do. Again, but what I think we're all guilty of is the fact that we'll say we're going to do something, we'll get round to it eventually, but sometimes the time passes, and in this case, if you ever did need a power of attorney and you've not done it, it can be too late to put in place.